So, Dhruva Maharaj, so till now we are discussing fourth canto, first seven chapters we have discussed, where mainly the Daksha's episode is discussed. Basically, it comes the corresponding to the lineage of the Swayambhu Manu. So while narrating the different daughters lineage from Swayambhu Manu, that story of Daksha has come. So after narrating the daughters, so there is one more like the Brahmaji's lineage that is mentioned. So there is like one more lineage that is being mentioned briefly in first seven verses. Before that, the Brahmaji's other sons like Kumaras and Narada, they are like they did not marry and they remained as Naistik Brahmacharis. So it is like narrating that Brahmaji's other lineage also is is narrating. And because Brahmaji's sons married to Devahuti's daughters, so in that connection, there is one more son of Brahma, Adharma. So his lineage is being narrated. So before narrating the lineage of Dhruva Maharaj, where the pious activities are being narrated, so the lineage of Adharma is being narrated. So Adharma got married to uh, a wife uh, called Dambam, falsity. So from them, there are two, religion and falsity, Adharma and Dambam. There are two demons like bluffing and Maya or cheating. So they were born from them. So bluffing and Maya, which is called as a like Dambam and Maya. So Mrusha is the Bharya of irreligion. The Adharma and Mrusha gave rise to Dambam, which is bluffing, and Mayam is like cheating. So they got again married. So this is like a starting of Adharma. Both they got married together, and then they kind of produced Nikruti, which is like cunning, and Lobha, which is like greed. Both produced. Again, these two got also married, and they generated Krodha and Himsa, anger and envy. And from them, they generated Kali and Durukti. Durukti is like harsh speech. And from them, it came Bhayam, like death, fear, and uh, Mrityu, which is like death. From them, there is a arising of Yatana, excessive pain, and Niraya, hell. So these are the names that are given. But interestingly, if we see the analysis also, like if irreligion and falsity they combine together, see where there and adharma and falsity kind of thing. So then that gives rise to tendency to bluff and tendency to cheat. So adharma and mrusha, like maya kind of falsity when it combines. And wherever that bluffing and cheating is there is like a kind of lobha, tendency to take greed, and there will be cunning, and their anger and envy takes place. Because of that, there will be a lot of harsh speech, and kali means quarrel basically. Whenever there is anger, there will be a lot of quarreling, and finally due to that there will be a lot of fear and death. After death and fear, there will be a lot of pain, and they will go to hell kind of thing. So this is like this is how Adharma's lineage got propagated. So it is described that whoever hears this kind of three times, they will be purified. Like it is like attains piety, and their sinful contamination will go away. So maybe because they will know this is like this will lead to wrong activities and this will lead to these things. So that kind of creates piety. So this is like briefly some lineage of Adharma is given. So now the Swayambhu Manu has two sons and three daughters. So now three daughters were already mentioned. Now the two daughters dynasty from Uttanapada and dynasty from Priyavrata, they will be narrated in fourth canto and fifth canto. So now the out of those two, younger one Uttanapad started ruling initially. So therefore the descendants of Uttanapad activities, they are being narrated, in which Dhruva Maharaj story will come. So Dhruva Maharaj, it was said that Uttanapad had two wives, and Uttanapad, they are named as Sunuiti and Surichi. Out of them, Surichi is very much dear to the king, and Suniti is not so much dear to Uttanapad. And from Surichi, a son called Uttama was born, and from Suniti, a son called Dhruva was born. So therefore, Suniti is not favorite, but he likes kind of Suruchi. So like Suruchi is like kind of uh, kind of represents kind of sense gratification kind of. He is more liking Suruchi than Suniti. So one time, what happened was King Uttanapad was sitting on a throne, and he was on his lap. Uttama, he sat on his lap. And at that time, Dhruva Maharaj has come. Dhruva has come, little Dhruva, 4 to 5 years old. So he has come and he wanted to sit on the lap of Uttanapad. So, but king, knowing that Suruchi is around, he did not receive Dhruva properly. So, seeing that because king was not receiving Dhruva properly, Suruchi was there. So, seeing that, he became, he kind of he saw that incident and she is envious of Dhruva. So with a lot of Ati Garvita, means lot of pride, she started speaking to Dhruva Maharaj. So what he is saying, so like she is equating Dhruva climbing to that lap of his father to Dhruva wanting to ascend as a king after Uttanapad. So she started saying that no, you don't deserve to sit on the throne or the lap of the king. So Dishnam is a seat. So that seat can imply the father's lap or the throne. So you don't deserve to sit on that lap or the seat of the king. Why? Because you are definitely your son of king, but your unfortunate situation is that you did not take your birth from my womb. So therefore, you are not qualified to sit. And you are a child, so therefore, you don't know that you are born from another woman's womb, and uh, and your desire to sit on this place is doomed to failure. That you don't know. So basically, what you are desiring is very difficult to fulfill, impossible to fulfill. So that is not possible for you. But there is a way, she is saying, you worship the Supreme Lord, tapasa, by executing austerities. You satisfy the Supreme Lord, and by His mercy, if the Supreme Lord has mercy, then uh, then you will be in your next life, you will be able to take birth in my womb. So, if at all you desire to sit on the throne of the king, better you satisfy Lord Narayana, and then when he favors, you can take birth from my womb. That means she is indirectly telling that let you die and be born from my womb. Then you will be able to sit on the throne. So, like that, she was like kind of spoke very, very harshly. He is like 4 or 5 year old child, and she kind of telling him to die and take birth in her womb. So it is like very with lot of envy, with pride. You don't deserve to sit on the lap of king. So like that, she was speaking very harshly. So Dhruva Maharaj, he is like very tender, small boy, and he is a kind of kshatriya. His blood, he has a kshatriya blood, which is like he cannot tolerate the insults. So hearing those strong words from Suruchi, who is like the stepmother, he began to breathe very heavily. So it's like just like a snake, if it is if it is stuck by some stick, someone uh, beat a snake with a stick, then it will breathe very heavily. So similarly, he became very, very angry, and he was looking towards king, whether king will say anything. But king was completely controlled by this Suruchi, so therefore he did not protest. He was silent, he did not take action. So seeing that, he left the place and started going towards his mother. So, like, see the nature that he later on, Uttanpad repents that he did not respond to Dhruva, but at this point of time, because he has strong attachment to Suruchi, he was not able to say anything in favor of Dhruva. So, seeing that, Dhruva became very upset and he started going to his mother. So, by the time Dhruva goes to his mother already knew what happened in the palace, because she came to know from other her servants that what is happening in that palace, how Suruchi, she spoke very harshly. So she came to know. So she also started lamenting. And by the time Dhruva reached there, he was also very angry. His lips were trembling and he was crying intensely, heavily in anger. So in this way, he has like grief, anger, and all those emotions are coming. But Suniti was also pained at hearing the details, how he was treated by her co-wife. So Suniti is like lot of patience she had, but she also lost that kind of patience. And her condition, it was mentioned that just like in a Davanala forest fire is creates so much lamentation, like that her, her lamentation is like big forest fire. And in that forest fire, if a leaf started burning, she became like that leaf started, she became so much troubled, lamented. And so her face is also filled with tears. And then she started speaking. She was also breathing very heavily, and she don't know the remedy. The like what in that situation she don't know what to do also. And she started saying to her son. So here the words of Suniti to Dhruva Maharaj are very, very kind of exemplary. So Suniti is said to be very like she is like very uh, dharmic kind of thing. So her words very exemplary, very nicely how counseling her son. So we'll see what she said. So first thing she said that Ma amangalam tata pareshu mamsta bhunkte jano yat paradukkadastat. So she was telling that don't ever think ill fortune for others. So, and everyone in this world is suffering, and is suffering uh, their own, uh, like, uh, she's saying that anyone who inflicts pain upon others, they themselves suffer from that pain. That means, although your stepmother, she has saying some things, you don't maintain that grudge, that ill, or that revenge. Don't become ill. Don't think about the amangala for her. So don't think anything inauspicious for others. So and uh, whoever inflicts pain upon others, they will themselves suffer. That means if you think ill about others, about your stepmother, you will only suffer for that. And your suffering also has come from previously you have done some suffering for others. So that is coming to you. So therefore, don't think that. So she is kind of removing the immediate. Generally, whenever there is something suffering will come, we immediately identify that suffering coming from that immediate person who has become instrument to give that. But actually, everything is orchestrated by our destiny, karma. So, like they are only becoming instruments. It is the result which we have done that is only coming. So, therefore, no need to become point out those though and thinking ill for these immediate who are giving pain. So, like that, she immediately this is the first statement which kind of removed that negative feelings because she Dhruva at this point of time experiencing a lot of negative feelings of the harsh words of his stepmother. So she immediately, as a like a caregiver, she immediately kind of trying to remove those negative feelings that Dhruva had. So don't think any ill fortune for others. And whatever Surichi said, actually that is true because your father, he doesn't even consider me as his wife, or even he doesn't even consider me as Dasi also. So that is my great misfortune. He feels ashamed to accept me. So therefore, you have taken birth from an unfortunate woman. So and so whatever she told was true, and so therefore, but uh, though your Suruchi, whatever she told, uh, although they are very harsh, but they are factual. Therefore, if you at all, if you want to sit on the throne, just like Uttama on that throne, then whatever she told to worship the Lord Narayana. So you don't give up your envious attitude and worship Lord Narayana. So, and try to execute those instructions. Then you will be able to see the lotus feet of the Lord. You will be, by that, you will attain the whatever things you require. So, and what will be the result of worshipping the Lord? If one worships the Lord, the Brahmaji, your grandfather, so she is addressing Dhruva. Dhruva's father is Uttanpa, Uttanpa's father is Manu. So your just by worshipping the lotus feet of Lord Narayana, your uh, great grandfather Brahma, he has attained all the qualifications to create this universe. And also your father Manu, sorry, your grandfather, he also attained all these wealth and opulences, everything by uh, satisfying the Supreme Lord. So he achieved great material happiness and afterwards he also achieved liberation. So which is not possible if someone worships other people. So therefore, you take shelter of that Supreme Lord. Tameva vatsa shraya bhritya vatsalam mumukshibhirmukya padabja paddhatim ananya bhave nija dharma bhavite manasyavastapya bhajasva purusham. He's saying that Tameva Vatsa, oh Vatsa, my dear child, you take shelter of him because the Lord is said to be Bhritya Vatsalam. He is very much, he is very much affectionate to his servants. And his lotus feet, he has a lotus feet which is even searched by people who desire uh, liberation. Mumukshubir Mukya Padabja Paddhatim. He has a lotus feet which is even desired by people who desire seeking liberation from cycle of birth and death. So by Ananya Bhave Naja Dharma Bhavite. So with unflinching devotion with your constitutional position as a soul, Manasyavastapya Bhajasya Purusha. Place your mind on his lotus feet and worship that Lord. So in fact, I don't see, like, especially here this verse, Bhrityavatsalam, she is telling, well, you are saying that you approached me, mother, but Lord is Bhrityavatsala. That means Lord's compassion is greater than even thousands of mothers. So that much Lord is compassionate. So, you came to me crying, but I don't have any ability to satisfy you, although I have willingness to satisfy you. But the Lord is not like that. He has both ability and he has both the intention. Like he is more merciful than me, thousands of times more merciful than mothers. And he is ability also. He can give liberation for people who are seeking his lotus feet. And whoever wants any desires, the Lord will fulfill. So Lord has affectionate nature and he has the capacity also to do. So therefore, you worship the Lord, and by that you attain all good fortune. So you don't, instead of envying your stepmother, you worship the Lord. And I don't see anyone in this world who can relieve you from this tremendous misery. And like, because Lord is so powerful, and for even the Mother Lakshmi, she takes always try to serve the Lord, and for Lakshmi's pleasure, like to attain Lakshmi, to attain good fortune, even great devatas like Brahma, they are all searching for Lakshmi. But that Lakshmi searches for the Supreme Lord. So therefore, I don't see anyone who is capable to relieve you than worshipping the Lord. So in this way, the words of Suniti are very, very exemplary in this context, because Dhruva, he was like kind of having a lot of negative emotions towards Suruchi because of those harsh words. But immediately she counseled in such a way that she removed those negative tendencies, kind of, and took the positive things that was spoken by Suruchi and directing Dhruva to worship the Supreme Lord. And she is also devotee, and uh, she is directing to Dhruva to worship the Lord. In fact, in this way, she kind of became a Pata Pradakshaka Guru of Dhruva Maharaj. So Dhruva Maharaj taking like he was like very angry because he has lot of desire to attain the throne. So by attaining these instructions from Suniti, which are very exemplary, he immediately he left for the forest to attain the Lord. So because he has a Kshatriya mentality, which is like very kind of strong to achieve determination, and then they cannot tolerate any insults. So in that condition, any somehow I have to achieve this. If by worshipping the Lord I will achieve the kingdom, I will worship the Lord. So therefore he started leaving for the forest. So in this way, hearing those words of Suniti, he came, and after thinking, he left. So hearing that activities that Dhruva, a small child, 4 or 5 year old person, he left the kingdom and went to forest to worship the Lord. Narada Muni, he came to know about this news, and he was wondered, struck with wonder, like how come a small child started worshipping the Lord. So he approached Dhruva Maharaj and he touched the Dhruva's head and he started speaking as follows. He said, he was like initially kind of testing Dhruva Maharaj or his determination, kind of. So he was saying, he initially thought to himself that how Kshatriyas, what is this power of Kshatriyas? They don't tolerate even they cannot tolerate even a slight insult. Manabhangam Amrushyata, unable to tolerate. He is a small child, but still his heart was broken by the words of his stepmother. So like that he was thinking and then speaking. So he was telling to Dhruva, "Oh Dhruva, you don't take the insults of your stepmother so seriously. Don't be affected by those words of honor or dishonor, those things. Small childs like you, they are all Kumarasya, you are not even, you are still in Kumar age. So they are more interested in playing and frivolous activities, sports like that. You are only a little boy, so you are attached to sports and other things. Why you need to take so seriously about the insult of your stepmother? So although you may see, although you think that okay, I am insulted, but still you should not feel lot of dissatisfaction. So in general, only the out of illusion only people uh, people based on how this is like this kind of dissatisfaction that you are experiencing, that is actually one kind of illusory energy only, maya only. So generally in this world, whatever one experiences, either suffering or pain, that is all result of their previous activities. So therefore, your result only you got. So therefore, why you need to take this very seriously? And uh, so an intelligent person in general, he should be satisfied with whatever comes on its own accord by destiny. Daivopasaditam yavat, whatever comes based on destiny, whatever according to the Lord's supreme will, he should be satisfied. So be satisfied. Why you are so much worried about these things, small insults? And also, you are saying your mother has instructed to you worship the Lord, but that thing, what you want to achieve, that that to please the Lord, it is very difficult. In my opinion, that to satisfy the Lord is not easy. So it is so difficult. Previously, great sages, with all their detachment, they tried to attain the Lord, but still they are not able to attain the Lord. Even if they engage in Trivra Yoga with severe austerities in the Samadhi, in their yogic practices. So even great yogis could not achieve the Lord. So therefore, if it is better, you should not endeavor in this way because it will not become successful. And it is better that you go home now, but later on when you grew up older, so that time you may get another chance to perform all these austerities. So that time maybe you can try and attain the Lord. But you are a child now, you cannot do this now. So in this way, he kind of like encouraging Dhruva not to worship the Lord seriously now and worship later and be satisfied with whatever come. And then he gives some good instructions which will apply for everyone. So he says, very nice shloka, Yasya yaddaiva vihitam satena sukha dukkhayo atmanam toshayan dehi tamasa param richati. So yasya yaddaiva vihitam, daiva vihitam, whatever is given according to destiny, satena sukha dukkhayo, whether it be happiness or distress. Atmanan toshayan dehi, whoever satisfy himself with that sukha dukkha given by Daiva, he will be able to cross over these nations. So therefore, yes, yeah, therefore, whatever happiness, distress, or suffering that you have experienced now, mana, apmana that you have experienced, understand that that is given by Daiva. And also the like kingdom, achieving kingdom, and all those things, that is also given by Daiva. So therefore, you should not worry about these things. So, and in order in this world not to get not to get agitated by suffering, he gives one formula. Nice formula. He says, "Gunadikan mudam lipset Anukrosham gunadaman Maitrim samanadan vichen natapeira vibhuyate. If someone sees a qualified person more having more qualities than oneself, one should feel very happy to see such a person. And if one sees a gunadama, a less qualified person, one should show mercy to that person. Anukrosha. So Anukrosha is like kind of showing mercy to person who doesn't have many qualities. And if one sees a person is having equal qualities, one should make friendship with that person. Maitrim samana danvichim. So in this way, whoever behaves for him, natape abhibhuyate. He will not suffer the threefold miseries. So that means he's saying that in this world, there are like always we see people who are greater than us in qualities, or some are equal, some are below. So in general, if one's tendency is not proper, one may become proud of one's own activities. And if someone sees a greater person, like who has more qualities, more qualified than in some field, we may become envious of him. So instead of becoming envious of person who has greater qualities, we should become very satisfied to see that person. We should be happy to seeing having that person having those qualities. And if someone is having less qualities than us, we may deride him. So instead of deriding him, we should be compassionate toward him and rise him to proper standard. So that is like anukrosham, showing mercy. And if someone is on equal level, we tend to compete with him. So Bhagavatam is saying that don't compete with him, but make friendship with him who is having equal qualities. So don't become proud of boasting yourself in front of that person. I am having more qualities. So, but just be happy and treat him as a friend. So in this way, when you behave towards people in this world, not apayarabhibhute, you will not get miseries in this world. So this is a wonderful advice Narad Muni is giving to Dhruva. So, but hearing these advices, but Dhruva Maharaj, his heart was not satisfied. So, like because he was like he had that mentality of achieving that anyhow I have to achieve. That mentality of revenge is also there. So, because his heart was pierced by those words of his stepmother. So he was not able to immediately follow the advice of Narada Muni. So that equality that Narada Muni is saying, be equal for mana and apmana. So he's saying that my heart is so much disturbed by this condition of happiness and distress. But whatever you are saying, uh, these condition to be peaceful, and these are all very good instruction. But now I am not able to accept them. So these words are not touching my heart. He is kind of saying that the words you have spoken, they may be suitable for some peaceful Brahmana. Keep your words with you. But I am a Kshatriya. I am not able to uh, take up these words. So I could not accept this. So therefore he is representing. So therefore I am avinitasya. Therefore I am not able to follow your words, but still be merciful because I have attained this Kshatriya nature, which is like very intolerant, and my heart was broken with the arrows of words coming from Suruchi. So these words are not staying in my heart. So therefore, my desire I am expressing to you. I want a place, Padam Tribhuvanotkrishtam, means the topmost place in these three worlds. Sarga, Swarga, Naraka, and Bhuloka. In all these three worlds, I want the topmost place. So that is my desire. And you please be with me and honestly tell me that path by which I will attain that, by which even I should be like uh, achieve greater fortune, even not achieved by even my father or grandfather. So in this way, I want to achieve that goal. So please, is there if there is any way, honest path to achieve this goal, please let me know. And definitely, you are a great personality, and you are born from Parameshti, the Supreme Lord Brahma, and you are like sun. You travel in this world for the benefit of all living beings. So therefore, definitely, you will be able to. You can fulfill my desire. So please bless me also. See, Dhruva Maharaj here is honestly expressing here his incapability of following Narada Muni's advice, and at the same time asking Narada Muni to give some advice by which he can honestly fulfill his desire of achieving that kingdom. And he's praising Narada Muni that you can fulfill that desire and you travel only to fulfill benefit others. So in this way, he honestly expressed himself. So Narada, hearing those words of Dhruva Maharaj, he became very much satisfied, and he became very compassionate, and he started speaking to uh, Dhruva Maharaj. So the instructions of Narada Muni, he gave instructions to worship Lord Vishnu. These are very nice instructions uh, he gave, which we can also understand. So is telling that whatever instructions that is given by your mother Suniti, that path of worshipping the Lord is the best path you can take now. So for ultimate goal of life, if one worship Lord Vasudeva, so by observing your mind, you will be that is the best path you can achieve. And if people in this world want the results of dharma, artha, kama, moksha, anything or any other thing, if it desires, the only easy way to achieve these things is worshipping the lotus feet of the Lord. Just by serving the lotus feet of the Lord, all these dharma, artha, kama, moksha will be fulfilled, or whatever the benefit for the self one will attain by worshipping the lotus feet of the Lord. So therefore, worship the Lord, take shelter of Lord Vasudeva. So therefore, I advise you to go to the bank of Yamuna, and there is a nice place called Madhuvan. So, and it is mentioned that Sanityam Nityada Hare. In that Madhuvan, Lord Hari always resides there. That means that present tense is used. That means even presently also Lord resides always in Madhuvan. Madhuvan is also part of Vrindavan. So Lord presently also resides in Vrindavan. So it is mentioned that Lord never leaves Vrindavan. So the present tense is used. So therefore he can go to Madhuvan and worship the Lord there. So there Lord is easily achievable. So in this way, Narada Muni is advising Dhruva to go to Vrindavan and worship the Lord. And there, in that Yamuna, you take 3 times bath there in that pure Yamuna water, which is like auspicious, and perform regulative principles and take a sitting place. And there you like kind of practice a little bit pranayama breathing exercise, control your life, mind, and senses. And this is Satya Yoga is saying Dhruva Maharaj that you can practice these things for something so that your mind will become free from contamination, and you upon the uh, start meditating upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So with your mind, and then how you can meditate. So that beautiful form of the Lord is mentioning. Prasadabhimukam shashvat prasanna vadanekshanam sunasam subhruvam charu kapolam surasundaram. So the Lord face is always He's inclined to show a lot of mercy, and his face is prasanna vadana, which is joyful to look at. Ikshanam, his vision is also very, he, he is uh, nicely sees. And Sunasam, nicely constructed nose he has. Subruvam, nicely decorated eyebrows he has. Charu Kapolam, his cheeks are also very beautiful. Sura Sundaram is even good looking, more beautiful than all the devatas. So, and his beauty, Tarunam Ramaniyangam Arunoshtekshanaadaram Pranatashrayanam Nunnam Sharanyam Karunanam. Tarunam Ramaniyangam, all his limbs, they are very, very youthful and very attractive. Taruna means youthful, Ramaniya means very attractive, Angam means limbs. So all the limbs of Lord are very, very attractive and very, very youthful. So all these features, when we are hearing, so when we are chanting also, we can remember these features of the Lord, that which can improve our chanting. So that we are our chanting, we are hearing at the same time that person whom we are hearing, that person only having all these wonderful qualities, wonderful form, wonderful qualities, wonderful leela. So therefore, we can engage our mind in remembering the form of the Lord also. So all his limbs are very, very beautiful. Arunoshtekshana Adaram, his lips are very reddish, just like rising of the sun. Aruna Oshta means lips. Ikshana means is seeing is also, uh, and that is very reddish, like rising sun color. Pranatashrayanam Nunnam. So whoever takes shelter of him, he is worthy of taking shelter for the people. Pranatashrayanam, he gives shelter. Nunnam, and he is very pleasing in all ways. Sharanyam is person worthy to take shelter. Karuna Arnavam, and he is ocean of mercy. Karuna is mercy, and Arnavam is ocean. So he is ocean of mercy. So that is a beautiful form he has. And he also has Srivatsangam, Ganashamam, his beauty is always compared to thick cloud. Purusham Vanamaranam, he is wearing a nice garland, Vaijayanti Mala. Shanka Chakra Gada Padma, Shanka Chakra Gada Padma, he always holds them. Abhivyakta Chaturbhujam, so in this way, he has four-handed form of Lord Vishnu. So you worship him. And he also has Kiritinam Kundalini, a nice golden ornamented Kirita, nice Kundalas, Makara Kundala, Keyura Valayanvitam. Keyura is jeweled necklace he is wearing, and Valayanvitam. Valaya is like jeweled bracelets that he wears. Nice bracelets he wears. So Valayanvitam. Kaustubhamarana Grivam. His neck is nicely decorated with Kaustubhamani. So and Pita Kauseya Vasam. The silken yellow color cloth he is wearing. That is like beautiful meditation. And Kanchi Kalapa Paryastam, his waist is surrounded by nice girdle belt. And Lasat Kanchana Nupuram, he is wearing nice Nupura. So all this, when we are reading, when we are hearing, when we are seeing, we can meditate. This is also like kind of bhakti while hearing. So we can imagine the form of the Lord in our hearts. So in this way, the Lord is wearing nice nupuras, and Darshaniya Tamam Shantam Manonayana Vaddanam. All this form is very, very beautiful. Darshaniya Tamam, super excellent feature, and Shantam is always peaceful. And Manonayana Vaddanam. For mind and for our eyes, it is very, very pleasing. So that is a wonderful form of the Lord. Padbyam Nakamani Shrenya, in his lotus feet, from that nails, lot of effulgence is coming. Vilasadhyam Samarchatam, and that is that glittering lotus feet are worshipable, Samarchatam. And in this way, he is situated in Hrut Padma Karnika Dishnam. He is situated in everyone's heart like that. Everyone's heart has like lotus, like kind of one can imagine a lotus flower on our hearts, and he is situated there. Akramya Atmani Avastitam. One can think in this way the presence of Super Soul or Lord Vishnu in our heart, and how he is. Uh, what is the what is how he is looking? How can we imagine? Smayamanam avidyayet. One can think that he is smiling. In this way, one can meditate. Sa Anuraga Avalokanam. He is also looking very affectionately towards us. That also we can think, meditate. So Niyatena Ekabhutena Manasa Varadarshabam. So in this way, regularly means time to time. So here the word used is regularly. That means it's not like continuous. Continuous thing will only happen at Samadhi, but regulated way, like we chant regularly some rounds. So in this way, regularly keep meditating on the form of the Lord. Niyatena, ekabhutena, with one pointed attention. Manasa Varadashadam. One should keep his mind on that Supreme Lord. So in this way, if you meditate on that form of the Lord, who is situated in everyone's heart, this is actually the form of the super soul, who is situated in everyone's heart. So one can meditate. So in this way, if one meditates in this auspicious form of the Lord, Subhadram Dhyayato Manaha, Nirvritya Paraya Turnam, that person will attain Nirvriti. Nirvriti means highest bliss. And Paraya Turnam, he will very soon attain very great happiness. And Sampannam Na Nivartate, will achieve so much higher state that he will never deviate it. So the like remembering the form of the Lord in one's heart is also a kind of devotional service, which is like very enhancing. In our japa practice also, we can try to remember the Lord. So Sampannam na nivartate. He does not come down from meditation. And also he is advising Dhruva Maharaj to chant nice mantra. So he's saying that Japasta Paramo Guhya. I will teach you one confidential mantra. Shruyatam me nupatmaja. So I will teach this. You hear this, O child, O son of the king. So by chanting this mantra, Yam Saptaratram Prapatan, if you sincerely chant for 7 nights, Puman Pashyati Kecharan, you will be able to see the beings who are flying in the sky. So that means you will achieve power. So that mantra he says, that is Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So there is a mantra in Satya Yuga. He is instructing this mantra. In Kali Yuga, the mantra that is powerful, that is mentioned as Hare Krishna mantra, which is recommended for in this age of Kali. And Satya Yuga is instructing Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Mantrena anena devasya kuryat dravyamayim buddha. So in this way, this mantra, by chanting this mantra, one should also worship the Lord with some physical offerings. By worshipping by Vividai Dravya with several paraphernalia like Patram, Pushpam, Phalam, Toyam. With this mantra, we can worship the Lord according to Desha Kala Vibhagavit. So Desha Kala Vibhagavit means according to time, place, and circumstance. This is a very nice word that is used. Desha Kala Vibhagavit means so our situation of everyone is different. Different people are residing in different places, desha, and different people are residing in different times. So, like Prabhupada is quoting, when he went to West, the people in West, they don't know anything and they don't get many of the things. So, like according to that time and place, we can adjust some things. So therefore, one should not unnecessarily criticize others who are adjusting in order to perform the bhakti. So like that he is writing. So in this way, according to whatever desha and kala we are there, we can worship the Lord according to our means. So in this way, you worship the Lord, he's saying, and you worship with the pure water, with garlands, uh, whatever flowers you get in the forest, with that you can worship. and roots and fruits and vegetables, whatever you can get, or newly fresh blown glass, or some birds, or from some tree barks, all those things, whatever is fit. And also with tulsi leaves, which is very dear to the Lord, you can worship the Lord. So this is like very easy, like patram pushpam palam toyam yome bhaktya prechati, like that. And in this way, you worship the Lord with these physical elements, and and you can worship the Lord in made from earth, water, pulp, wood, and metal. So anyway, anywhere you can worship. That means some people worship the Lord in the carved form of the Lord. Some people worship in a photo form. So that is also valid. Some people worship the Lord in other ways. So all these things are valid. You can worship. So in the forest, you can make a farm with whatever with available with the farm you can make, and you can with completely self-control like a muni, with peaceful mind, controlling your mind, and mita vanya book, also eating very less. So mita vanya book. So one of the quality that is mentioned is eating less with whatever available simple things in forest, fruits and vegetables. You worship the Lord, and also while worshipping, you can also think about the pastimes of the Lord, activities of the Lord. Svecha avatara charitai achintya nijamayaya karishyati uttam shlokas tadhyaye hrudayangamam. So you can think about the activities of the Lord in his various incarnations by his inconceivable active power he performs. So all these activities which are very, very attractive, you can think about those activities. And in this way, you can worship the Lord as much as possible by which are followed by previous acharyas, and ta mantra hridayena, with the mantras, that mantra that I have given, and you worship the Lord who is actually non-different from the Lord. Mantra murtaye. So he's saying paricharya bhagavato yavatya purva sevita, like previous people how they achieved, you worship the Lord. Ta mantra hridayeneva, with that mantra, with that in such a way that mantra murtaye, the Lord is mantra personified. So like that means whatever mantra that we are chanting, the Lord is non-different from that mantra. So therefore you can worship the Lord with that mantra. So in this way, with your mind, words, and body, you worship the Lord with a lot of bhakti, and with your feelings increased, so you will be able to achieve the whatever results you want, dharmartha kama moksha, all these things will be uh, achieved. So in this way he is kind of instructing, and also he's saying that if you are very serious about liberation, to stick to this process, engaging 24 hours in this way to worship the Lord, and you should be free from all other activities of sense gratification. So in this way, he instructed him. Dhruva Maharaj, he circumambulated around Narada Muni for instructing and taking his offering obeisances and taking his permission. He went to Madhuvana, where Lord Krishna's footprints are there, and there he started worshipping Lord Vishnu in that Madhuvana. So we will discuss in the next time how he executed severe austerities and achieved the Lord. So all these activities of Dhruva Maharaj we will discuss the next time. So maybe I think we will end here. Thank you everyone. Andra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.